What it do, ladies and gentlemen? I love this beautiful weather. All the dogs want to stay calm, relax and chill, stay posted up in their houses. I don't gotta worry about them going crazy. This girl's been learning the hard way. She keeps breaking into other dogs' kennels. Look at her smirking. So she's learning though. She's been breaking into her sister's kennel over here on the right. This little bad girl was the worst. She was breaking through everybody's kennel. She was popping up in the next dog's kennels and the next dog's kennels. So I had to put her in this kennel where the whole thing is chained up at the bottom. She can't break out no more. She's been chewing on the bottom a little bit. Everybody's posted up. So, somebody over here hit me up wanting to buy a chocolate try. Good luck. I ain't selling any of them. As long as they're a female, I'm staying. Like her. I got two. I got her and Royalty. They staying. I got a whole lot of lilac blood. I got a whole lot of blue blood. I got a little bit of black blood. But chocolate tries have been. I'll be knocking out some big name breeders here that'll produce me chocolate tries with every one. As long as some of them take. But somebody was asking me to talk about cleft palate. Cleft palate can come. I've got cleft palate from crossbreeding. I've got cleft palate from inbreeding. So people want to talk about, inbreeding is bad. You have to be smart about inbreeding. Don't just think you're going to go all willy-nilly and inbreed everything. Hey, I've personally seen dogs that have been inbred 3 generations. 3 generations of brother to sister. He bred them 2 together, produced 2 dogs, and bred them brother and sister again, produced 2 dogs and bred brother and sister again, and produced puppies off of that. Would I do that? Never. Would never do that. One of my first inbreedings was him. I bred Venus back to her sire, which was Lucky Luciano. The reason why I did that, he has a couple. I think he's only did a handful of breedings. Alex wouldn't tell me exactly. He confirmed 3, and the studs, the prices on them studs is $3K and up, and that was 4 years ago. So I couldn't tell you, or 3 years ago, sorry. I couldn't tell you what they're charging now because Lucky Luciano is locked to the public. Shamrock is one of the big ones. He carries color, so I know his stud fee has to be probably around 3K or up. Which he's one of arguably his best sons. So his is, and he's a grand champion, so his may be even higher. I couldn't tell you. So I was like, bump it. Why am I gonna pay to use that guy's dog one time when I can produce my own? And I produced several. I produced a litter of 5, and I kept all of them. I have 2 that I shown, and the other 3 are up hiding. Not really hiding. They're not here with me. But what else? So I can use his dog, pay him 3K to use his dog one time when I can produce my own, and I can use Mr. 45 as many times as I want. A lot of people was asking about Mr. 45 and when I'm going to be using them. I'll quit using the same stud. No, I got a plan, buddy. Guap is hitting everything. After Guap is Red Bull, which right now I done did 7, 8, 9, 10 breedings with Red Bull. And then the puppies, I've been breeding Red Bull to Guap daughters, so the puppies the females off of those breedings are gonna go to Mr. 45. You see what I'm saying? Because Guap and Mr. 45 are half brothers. So why am I gonna take Mr. 45 and breed them to Guap daughters? That's too much. I'm gonna go ahead and crossbreed or outcross, do some research on that, because there are two different breedings. One is you're breeding outside the dog the dog breed. So in other words, breeding a bully to a bulldog. I don't do that crap. So my terms might not be right, but my point is I outcrossed or crossbred. I bred Champ Lucky Luciano and Spartacus 2 blood to some Grand Champion El Toro, Grand Champion Futuristic blood, which is more distance in it than if I would have bred Guap daughters to Mr. 45. Like that's too close for me. So that's my plan. So see, Mr. 45, he's gonna be used heavy starting the end of the year, and I'm gonna have several dogs for sale because I'm gonna be breeding them heavy, and then I gotta be careful because these 3 dogs are inbred. All Champ Lucky Luciano. I bred Mr. Guap back to his auntie Roxy. So, I'm not gonna breed Mr. 45 to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to breed Gentleman Jack to them, or Red Bull. So I'll figure it out when time comes. That's towards the end of the year. Who knows? I may do Gentleman Jack because I'll get blue tries and color, and I'll double up on that Lucky Futuristic Grand Champion El Toro, Grand Champion Dirty Bird. I'll most likely do that, probably to 1 or 2 of them, and then I'll breed Red Bull to the other one. Or I take that back, because I'll do 1 and 1 possibly, because I'll be taking her to a dog in Chicago. It's a Lux son, which he is a Champ Lucky Luciano grandson and a Louis V grandson as well. So I'll be bringing that Louis V and Champion Lucky Luciano and some other exotic dog, or a micro. I'm not sure if he's a small bully or he's actually an exotic. But either way, I'll be breeding him to her. But back to the cleft palate. Sorry, getting off topic. So my point is, don't believe the crap, don't believe the lies. Oh, cleft palate is only when you're inbred. No, it's not. It's genetical. Humans get it. A lot of times humans get it, like in India and stuff like that, where they're drinking contaminated water, where factories is dumping that, into the water. There's a lot of these chemicals that can get into your DNA, and they'll mess your DNA up. You know what I'm saying? For instance, here in Kentucky, I'm not finna eat no fish out of the Ohio River. I'm sorry, the Ohio River's filthy. You got some killer catfish out there. They're huge, but you'll never catch me eating that crap. You can eat that crap, and it may never do nothing to you, but you can pass it, through your sperm into your kids. It messes with your DNA. That's what it is. It's a genetical defect. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. So, like I said, I've done 2 sets of different breedings and produced cleft palates. Okay, so when you get you say you have a cleft palate. Cleft palates can be all kinds of different sizes. You look it up on humans. You can have a cleft palate where they have a hole between their nose and their lip and their mouth. There's a hole in their lip. You can have it where there's a hole inside their mouth. You can have it where there's a hole all the way down to their neck. You can get that stuff surgically fixed. You have to talk to your vet to see how severe it is and when to do the surgery. When you have issues like that, you're going to have to tube feed, depending on how severe it is. If it's a small one, say, from the lip to the nose to the mouth, and it's not that big, you can bottle feed. The reason why they don't survive is because they can't make a suction to get the milk from their mother. So pretty much, if you don't tube feed them, they're dead. So a lot of breeders, like I said, work full-time jobs, so they don't have time to sit there and have the puppy survive. And a lot of times they'll get sick because they'll get pneumonia, because if you tube feed them or bottle feed them and somehow some of the water gets into their lungs, they'll get cold and then they'll end up catching pneumonia. So there's some people that, I promise you, man, I'm talking about big name breeders that I've heard it come out of their lips that say they never survived. Not true. I done had several that I tube fed, bottle fed, and whelped, and and they survived, so that's not true at all. But yeah, some of them, they won't even take the time, because like I said, they don't have the time, so they can't. Why have the baby sit there suffering, crying, until it passes, when you can just pay your vet, to go ahead and euthanize it. So to each their own. Some people might be able to do it, some people don't have the opportunity to save it. So that's pretty much all there is, when it comes to tube feeding. And I'm sorry, not tube feeding. That's a whole nother subject. That comes to cleft palates. So that's what you need to be prepared for in case you have a puppy that has a cleft palate. It's not an automatic death sentence, but it may be in your case. So, because I don't know. Me personally, I can have the time. I can take every 3 hours away and feed them and tube feed them. So that's my comments. If you guys have any more subjects that you want me to talk about, you already know what to do. Put them in the comments below. I definitely appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like, that bell notification. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We stay putting content on the daily. Greg Go Bully Camp, baby. Signing off.